start off from the local scene as far as this review is concerned, and we begin with the Ghana Premier League. It was a season to remember for Accra Hearts of Oak. We all thought it might be Asante Kotoko's year because, first of all, I did not see Mariano Barreto coming down to coach Asante Kotoko. I did not see that happening at all. The former Black Stars manager came down, did some good work with Asante Kotoko, and then it all just crumbled when pear-shaped. He started waging a media war against the club and whatnot. It also saw the entry of Fabio Gama. Fabio Gama, the Brazilian international, took the Ghana Premier League by storm. Everybody was talking about Fabio Gama's simplicity and his majesty as a team or as a player. We also saw quite a number of foreigners. Jindo Morishita, I don't know if you remember him, but there was a Japanese striker that was playing for Wiswa Dwarfs at a point in the season. But then it was Samuel Boydu. It was Samuel Boydu of Accra Hearts of Oak who really showed that he had the resilience, he had what it took to steer a big team, he had what it took to shake off pressure from a very, very incessant fan base and eventually steer Accra Hearts of Oak to a title. Nathan, let me begin with you on the Ghana Premier League season because you said that, Accra Hearts of Oak were your team to look out for, and they basically make up your 2021 sporting moment. They've started out the new season struggling a little. They are picking it up gradually. What was the most standout bit about that league campaign? And if they are hoping to be able to replicate that sort of campaign again going into the next year, what must they go back to? What must they work on?
I think that the biggest thing for me was the football they played. It was, I won't call it carefree, but you could tell that there was a certain sense of pride. There was an easiness to which they played. It was nice to watch. It was easy to understand. But I think it also stemmed from a beautiful marriage of a coach who wanted his ideas understood, and players who quickly understood what the coach wanted, and he got them playing that kind of football. You rarely see teams press well or even play a complicated system like a 4-3-3 as well as Hearts of Oak did. And players like Daniel Bani, Friye, Kofi Koji at certain points. And it was very interesting watching Kofi Koji play for Hearts, right? There were certain times where you didn't even think he was part of the team, and then he was, boom, scoring, scoring goals and all of that. And then you find that in a critical game, for example, like that game at home against Asante Kotoko, where it was really winner takes all, and had they lost that game, the title was heading in a different direction. For me, just watching them play, now I've seen Hearts of Oak play these games at the Accra Sports Stadium in Kumasi across many years, and if there's one thing that would characterize many Hearts of Oak displays in such games would be nerves. But they were very calm, they were very cool, they kept pressing and they kept pushing. Ultimately, in the end, it was that lovely goal from Bani Free that settled the game and eventually set them up to win the league. So I think that the biggest thing for me was the coaching, the football, just the aura around the team. Looked like a team that played as an underdog, but had so much confidence that with each passing week, you could just tell that they were beginning to give Asante Kotoko pressure. And once they went past Kotoko, and then the chasing pack couldn't catch Hearts of Oak, you just knew that it was just a matter of when, not if, they were going to win the Ghana Premier League.
I'll just take snap thoughts on the Hearts Ghana Premier League summary from Coach and Daniel. Coach, let's take it from a coaching point of view, especially from Samuel Boydu's point of view. For a guy who had always been known as a player development guy, guy who worked with the grassroots, what was it that took him from that guy who was a budding, talent in the coaching realms to bona fide league winner? How did he make that jump?
Look, until he won the league with Hearts of Oak, he hadn't done so anywhere else. It was very risky. I have said it here before that Hearts of Oak, if they were to repeat what they did when it came to the number of coaches they used in winning that league, they would never
almost
win the
four
league.
coaches.
Almost four coaches. And no team does that and happens to win the league. But again, credit must be given to the board or to those decision makers. When it came to narrowing it down to the main man, they knew. I remember that day when Tobe was the one more or less showing Samuel Boydu to the press. He said, we are meant for each other. The chemistry between Hearts of Oak and this man
a marriage made
is
in
the
heaven.
proper marriage made in heaven. So everybody was like, Goodness me, what does he say? He he's made such statement for the past 11 to 12 years, and the team hasn't won anything yet. The only thing they could pride themselves about was what? The Eba Cup. Now, when he made that statement, we were all waiting to see what was going to happen. And once Samuel Boadu took off, look, he never looked back. The football got better. The players began to believe. And every aura around the team completely changed. Most people tend to credit Samuel Boadu, which I also do. But I've always cautioned them that in crediting Samuel Boadu, nobody should forget about the work that Nino Thompson did. If you remember, he played 3 games. Out of the possible 9 points, he got 7 out of 9. To me, those were the points that actually won Hearts of Oak the league title. Because if he had faltered along the line,
would have left
the entire story changes.
Exactly. So
one of those games actually involved a game against Kotoko.
There you go. The game that he had to win. You understand? And which I think they drew that first game, isn't it? So credit must be given to him as well. But look, not to have won the league for close to 12 years, and for them to do it the way they did it, credit must be given to them. I, in fact, think that this season would have presented them a more better platform, a more better chemistry to go and win the league. And they've not started the season that well. But if you look at the way they are coming, I do believe, player for player, Hearts of Oak have the best team in the league. And if they can put their acts together, tactically the coaches realizing that, look, maybe teams are now beginning to understand the way Samuel Boadu does his thing. Has he a plan B? He needs to come up with a plan B, if possible, a plan C, to begin to catch teams unaware as to what he'll be doing next. If he can get that chemistry imbibed in the players, I think Hearts of Oak will go a long way to defend their league title. But so far, so good. Credit must be given to them for bringing an end to a 12-year wait. It was for some of us, Kranti and myself, we waited too long, isn't it?
Daniel, I mean, you interviewed Samuel Boadu in depth after the league title win. You were, heavy in orchestrating a documentary for the title win itself. On the player side especially, how did they soak in all this? Because a lot of these guys had never won a title before. They didn't know what it took to win a title, but they managed to, with the guidance of Boadu, Togbe and the guys in the background, steer themselves to a title. When you were interacting with them, what was the impression you were getting from them based on the type of season they had had?
Look, for the Hearts of Oak playing body, they were hungry for the league title. If you remember, Emmanuel Nete was on Football Made in Ghana before the season started. Spoke about how much the playing body wanted to win the league, how they believed they could win. But speaking to Boadu, he says when he walked in, he saw a lot of talented group of players. But he had lost that belief due to, of course, the way they started the season. Of course, as at the time Boadu came, nobody would have thought that had to be able to come back and win the league. It looked like they were thinking about the next season. But he made them believe. He told them that it was possible. They looked at the league log. They looked at the fixtures that their rivals had to play. They looked at theirs, and they saw that it was winnable. And he said he just told them to take it a game at a time. And as the games went on, of course, when you are winning, confidence will grow, and you begin to believe that it can actually happen. I'm very happy that...
with his famous phrase, I don't have a problem with A and B team. I have a problem with the 3 points. I love that phrase so much.
And you see, it just shows you how he is. He's focusing on the win. He didn't say he has a problem with the points. He mentioned 3 points. It's win at all costs. You have to win. So we structure a plan to go out on the pitch and get the win at the end of the day. And that was brilliant. But not just for Hearts of Oak. I think this year's Ghana Premier League had so many brilliant stories in it. You look at Great Olympics at the start of the year. Of course, that was the start of the last season's Ghana Premier League. People were tipping them for relegation. They came back, had a fantastic run in.
Only we shall not be relegated.
We shall not be relegated this year. And it's continuing in the start of this new season. You can see that they've turned the club around. The board members, of course, the coach Arno Walker has done a fantastic job. We look at how Legon City started the year. Last year, by this time, they were signing player A, player B. Everybody was afraid. And they just missed out on or survived relegation on the last day. It just shows you how interesting and so many brilliant stories that we've had in the Ghana Premier League throughout the year. Of course, you mentioned that some of the foreign players who came. We had Fabio Gama, we had Vinicius, we had Jindo, the Japanese guy, also coming in. So it's been fun. I think it's been fun. I think this year will give the GFA and the handlers of the league a lot of encouragement that, look, when you do your things right, people will by all means get interested.
But talking about foreign, I think Ahmed Toure made a
comeback to the Ghana Premier League at the
Yeah.
time. And I can tell you for a fact that we have not seen the last of Ahmed Toure in the Ghana Premier League. He will definitely appear again.
Daniel made a point, and I made that point when we were shooting that documentary. I think it was either on Football Made in Ghana or doing the documentary. Look, I think last season's success, right? The handlers of the league owe Great Olympics a lot. I say that the hype around the league came from Olympics and how they started.
It did.
Of course.
It's just all of a sudden, you had this team that everybody loved to talk about. Not because they were a bad team, but Olympics are a very interesting entity.
Yes. Yeah.
They excite everybody. Then they go on this run where, remember they beat Hearts of Oak in the first Manchester derby.
They beat Kotoko.
Social went mad. And I think it was when people started following the league. Of course, too bad they couldn't complete it. But I think the league owes a lot to Great Olympics. And that kind of very interesting frenzy, it helped generate on social. And that I think translated into more people going to the games, more people tuning in on TV, and more people following the league a bit closer.
Well, talking about the league, just to wrap it up, I remember Abel Manome appearing on Football Made in Ghana and running his mouth about how teams needed to be scared of Dreams FC. Manome himself is nowhere to be found these days as far as the Ghana Premier League is concerned. That's
He's
just
studying. I hear he's going back to school.
Yeah.